that you have all listened from all the preceding speakers who have actually talked about telling you that racism is actually expensive. And I'm not just talking about the pain and trauma it causes black Americans. I'm also talking about its draining working class like communities, including many MAGA supporters, without even them realizing it. Now, let's break this down. For Black Americans, racism has always come with a price tag. Think about redlining, where black families were denied home loans and pushed into underfunded neighborhoods. That meant a generation missed out on wealth building opportunities. Think about the employment discrimination, same work, less pay, and don't forget the cost of over policy, mass incarceration, and even the healthcare inequalities. All of that adds up to trillions of dollars stolen from black communities over centuries. That's why the conversation about reparation is not just about history, it's about repairing ongoing economic damages. But here's where it gets interesting. White class Americans, including those who proudly wear the MAGA hat, has always been paying for in racism. How? Because racism was used as a tool to divide poor whites and poor blacks, stopping them from uniting and fighting for policies that will benefit everyone. Think about its universal health care, affordable college, fair wages. All those things were resisted because they were framed as a handouts for minorities. But guess what? That resistance meant everybody lost out, including the poor and rural white families who now struggled with medical bills, low wages, and dying small towns. In other words, I'm trying to say that racism was designed to keep black Americans down, and it also keeps many white Americans stuck. The truth is, when you block progress for one community, you slow down the whole economy. Studies have also shown that eliminating racial inequality could add up to trillions to the US economy. That's why more money, better jobs, and strong communities for everyone. So here's the takeout that racism is a tax we are all paying. America have carried the heaviest burden, but white Americans who buy into racial division are also paying with lost opportunities, poverty, and even weak social system. Imagine what could happen if working class white Americans and black Americans stopped fighting each other and started fighting together for economic justice. That's real power. Because at the end of the day, racism does not just destroy life, it destroys wealth, it destroys opportunities, and it keeps America from reaching its true potential. Now let's talk about how we can deal with this cost of racism. What are the solutions here? One is now family is not enough. It's not just enough to say racism is expensive. We got to talk about a solution, how we break the cycle. That's draining black Americans and even keeping poor white Americans struggling. Now let's get into this, like saying economic unity and cross-racial solidarity. The first step is realizing that the real fight is not about blacks versus white, but the people versus the system. If working class white American and black Americans actually came together instead of being divided by racial baiting politics, they could demand fair wages, better schools, and even healthcare for all. That kind of unity scares the powerful, which is exactly why racism was created as a tool of division in the first place. Investing in black communities, America can't move forward without repairing the damage done to black people. That means reparation in some form includes whether through direct compensation, massive investment in black communities, or guaranteed opportunities to housing and education. This isn't about handout, it's about justice and repayment for stolen opportunities. Then we also have the education and deprogramming racism. We have policy changes over empty words like matches and hashtags are powerful, but without laws and policies, nothing changes. We need policies that close wage gap and end discriminatory housing practices, make healthcare universal, and reform the criminal justice system. These policies benefit everyone, not just one group. So building grassroots power, like change what won't come from the top. I'll come from the ground up, and that means that Black Americans continue to build businesses, community banks, and organizing that cycle wealth inside the community. And it means working class white organizing in their towns, not just against government, but against corporation that exploit their labor. Now, at the end of the day, the solution is simple but powerful. Stop letting racism divide us and start building solidarity. Because the truth is, the elite gain when if we fight each other, and we gain when we fight together. So that's all I had for you in the video. What do you think? Let me know what you think about racism. Do you think racism is actually expensive in America? And do you think it is actually time for all the black and the white community to actually unite? Because when we fight together, we win. But when we fight against each other, then the elites will always automatically gain. That's all I had for you in the video. My name is Wakakids.